Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
Listen, I thought that it would be a good idea to warm up today before we get started. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. As you already know, the other day JayZ's attorney jumped on TV and did an impromptu press conference in which he laid out the strengths of JayZ's case. He was also like, Jane Doe's case is mad weak. And here are the reasons why. I mean, this dude was up there with his little PowerPoint that his intern made, and he was just going for it. And after he finished doing his presentation, mad people were like, yeah, that's why Alex Spiro makes the big bucks. But it turns out that that press conference might have been a little premature and Alex Spiro might have played the wrong hand, because during that press conference, Alex Spiro made a few mistakes that just might end up giving Tony Busby an upper hand. Now, today, what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to act like I'm Tony Busby and I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to see if I can poke some holes in Alex Spiro's presentation. Alright, so let's get into it. First, during the presentation, Alex Spiro said Jane Doe has to be lying because no kid sneaks out the house at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
You ask yourself, but how did she end up in the car in the first place? And so she creates this story. She says, I snuck out the window, right? But now we know she came from Rochester. So she would have been sneaking out of the window at 3 in the afternoon in the middle of broad daylight. Never heard of such a thing, defies common sense, doesn't make any sense because this never happened. And so she tells this story because she's got to create a way that she gets out of the house and ends up in New York City.
Okay, can somebody please tell Alex Spiro that even though what he just said sounds good, it's highly inaccurate, because when kids want to sneak out the house, they sneak out the house whenever they want to sneak out the house, especially on a school day. If they went to school and came home, and then after they came home, they were like, Mom, can I go to so-and-so's house? And then Mom is like, absolutely not. Go in your room, close the door, and do your homework. Those kids will sneak out the window or creep out the back door with the quickness to get to where they want to get. Now, in the year 2000, the New York State public schools started on September 4th, so she should have been in school that day, but it's possible that she left after 3 o'clock, which means that she could have went to school and still went to New York City.
Okay, and if we can keep going. Next slide. So she then gets there, right? And she has this vivid tale of watching it on a Jumbotron. It's in her complaint. Clear as day. There was no Jumbotron that year. Okay? I don't know whether they were Googling images and found the wrong year. I don't know whether she's just making it up out of whole cloth. There is no Jumbotron. In fact, they didn't even get a permit, according to the police and the city, for the Jumbotron that year. So that didn't happen. None of the details are right because this never happened.
Alright, so in 2000, he's right, there was no Jumbotron. But what there was a live stage that was set up on a balcony on Radio City Music Hall. So is it possible that in her recollection she said Jumbotron instead of saying it was a stage on the side of the building? Absolutely. And you also have to remember that in New York City, there's a whole bunch of glass buildings. So if somebody's performing on a stage on the side of a building, you might be able to see that through the glass on another building, thus giving the effect of a Jumbotron, especially to a person who has autism.
Live at Radio City Music Hall in New York City, welcome to the 2000 Video Music Awards opening act. The big show is just 90 minutes away, and in the next hour and a half, MTV News has got this place covered. Tonight on Opening Act 2000, check in with all the night's big nominees, including a look at the successful and controversial year of Eminem. You too stop by with an exclusive sneak peek at their new video, and get the smackdown lowdown on this year's biggest music feuds. And getting things started, doing it live up on the marquee for the crowds down below. Best New Artist nominees, Papa Roach.
Now, remember, I'm not saying that this is what happened or whether or not it's highly plausible that these things happen, but I am pointing out that because Alex Spiro decided to prematurely try this case in the media and in the court of public opinion, he's created avenues that Tony Busby can now take to make counter-arguments to everything that he said on TV. For example, Alex Spiro stood up there and said that there were no houses like the one that Jane Doe described within 20-something minutes of Radio City Music Hall.
So we start off with the location, and according to their complaint, after approximately 20 minutes, she arrived at a white house with a U-shaped driveway and a gate. There is no such location in New York 20 minutes from Radio City. It does not exist. There is no such location.
I gotta tell you, this right here is a very bad look for Alex Spiro, which may just come back to bite him, especially since P. Diddy used to rent a white mansion with a U-shaped driveway out in Old Westbury Gardens, New York, and guess what? It's 28 minutes away from Radio City Music Hall, and guess what else? Diddy can't turn around and say, I didn't know anything about that mansion. Because it turns out that P. Diddy rented out the white-shaped mansion with a U-shaped driveway on several occasions, including to shoot some of the Notorious B.I.G.'s music videos. And I know, somebody's gonna come in the comment section like, Source, how do you know Diddy used to rent that mansion? I know that he used to rent it because the real estate agent that's listing it actually is trying to sell a mansion for $11.8 million. And one of their selling points on their commercial on their website is the fact that Diddy used to rent out the mansion. Now, the house that Diddy used to rent out to do his Biggie videos is about 23.3 miles away from Radio City Music Hall. So, you figure, doing 60, 70, 80, 90 miles per hour, you could get there in under 30 minutes. Now, let me be very, very clear. I am in no way saying that this mansion that Diddy used to rent out for Biggie's music videos is the mansion that Diddy allegedly rented out on a night at a VMAs. But what I am saying is that Alex Spiro's argument that there are no houses that match the description in the vicinity would never hold up in court because, as you can see, such houses do exist. Listen, let me know in the comment section below. Do you think that JayZ's attorney Alex Spiro just made a big mistake when he said,
And according to their complaint, after approximately 20 minutes, she arrived at a white house with a U-shaped driveway and a gate. There is no such location in New York 20 minutes from Radio City. It does not exist. There is no such location.
Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, after Alex Spiro said that the imaginary house doesn't exist, he also calculated how long it would take Jane Doe to get from the imaginary house to the gas station. And according to Alex Spiro, it would take Jane Doe approximately 42 to 45 minutes to walk to the imaginary gas station. Watch this.
We're going to talk in some detail about this White House and whether or not they could have gotten there. And then again, Doe returns home to Rochester, okay? And this is very important. Because she returns home, she has to leave the New York area by 1:30 in the morning at the latest, okay? If you look at any of these White Houses and you look at the closest gas stations that could be to any of these White Houses, you have to leave this White House party by 12:45 in order to get to the gas station at 1:30 to call your father to pick you up to get home to Rochester at 6:30. So remember, she only has till 12:45 for everything that she says to have happened. The VMAs end at after 11. So you're talking about a window of a little more than an hour that this could possibly have happened, even by their own account. And she says, during that little bit more than an hour, not only does she get to the house, not only is she inside mingling with celebrities, she has a drink, she's then sexually assaulted in front of an adult female multiple times. She gets out of that, she fights through it, she leaves the house naked, she gets all the way to the gas station. She had 37 minutes to possibly do this.
Okay, So right here, Alex Shapiro's just talking for the media, and he's using a trick to sort of like get us to like nod our heads and be like, yeah. Because the problem is, you can't calculate how long it takes to get from one place to another if you don't know the first place and you don't know the second place. So what Alex Spiro did right here is that he looked at Diddy's house in Saddleback, and then he got on a map and looked at how close the closest gas station was to Diddy's house. But this didn't happen at Diddy's house in Jersey, so none of these numbers actually matter. But they do matter, because what Alex Spiro actually managed to do right here is plant a seed in the consciousness of people, because now you got people talking about it couldn't have happened, because it would have took up 42 minutes to get to the gas station. Now, during his presentation of the timeline of events, Alex Spiro acknowledged that Diddy went to 2 after parties, not 1, but 2, and one of the after parties was at Lotus. And we know this because after the VMAs ended, the VMAs did a post show, and during the post show they interviewed Eve, and if you remember, Eve used to date Steve, and during that post show, Stevie J aka Sleezo dropped the addy of where they were all going later on that night.
Right, Kurt?
We are indeed out here in Limo Land. I'm sitting here with one of our favorite gals, Eve. Eve, what did you make of the show?
It was crazy. It was good, like I thought it was going to be. It was great, actually.
What was your favorite act?
NSYNC.
Really?
They killed it.
Eminem, baby, Eminem.
Well, I love Eminem, but NSYNC killed it. I can't front. I'm sorry, Eminem. I'm sorry, man. Don't kill me. I'm sorry.
There won't be any arguments later at home about NSYNC Eminem, will there?
No.
Eminem.
No.
Good. Okay. What are you up to next? Where are you going tonight?
Partying everywhere. Who knows? They're making me go.
Lotus.
It's what you do. You party.
I like the hair. Matches the rap.
Yes, thank you.
The outfit though.
Yeah, the outfit also. If we can see the outfit. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, but we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that once upon a time, Eve dated Stevie. Wow. Anyhow, source, can we please hear where Stevie said they were going one more time?
Where are you going tonight?
Partying everywhere. Who knows? They're making me go.
Lotus.
It's what you do. You party.
Alright, so here's the thing. If Diddy's attorney acknowledged that Diddy and J-Lo went to more than one after party after the VMAs, then they could have went anywhere before they went to Lotus. And we know that they stopped somewhere because J-Lo did an outfit change and she also got her hair redid before she arrived at Lotus. So, unless she did a quick change in a limo, they went somewhere. Additionally, anyone who's ever partied in New York City knows that you might arrive at a club at like 2-3 in the morning and that party is just getting started. Which begs the question, what time did Diddy, J-Lo, and JayZ get to the clubs that they were at? Because they could have got there at 11:30 or they could have got there at like 3 a.m. And thus far, no one has published a photo with a timestamp that tells us when they entered that club. And once again, this is not what I'm thinking. I'm simply looking at Alex Spiro's argument to see if Tony Busby can contradict anything that Alex Spiro said during his presentation. Alright, so then Alex goes on to say that Jane Doe is lying because Benji Madden wasn't there because Good Charlotte was on tour in the Midwest during the night of the VMAs. Alright, so now that Alex Spiro done put his playbook all out there, now all Tony Busby has to do is find himself a psychologist to testify that hallucinations are a side effect of horse tranquilizers. And when somebody puts that stuff in your drinks, the kooky juice has you thinking you see all types of things, including Benji Madden. And I'll tell you one more thing. If Tony Busby can prove that Jane Doe was taking some sort of medication for her autism when this event allegedly took place, oh my goodness, she can argue that there was some sort of drug interaction that had her over there like, I see dead people. So, at the end of the day, if Tony Busby brings in the right medical experts, the Benji Madden thing can actually be explained away. And somebody needs to go over there and tell Alex Spiro that this right here is the exact reason why you don't give the opposite team your playbook before the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness, what was this dude thinking? Anyhow, after he said that, Alex Spiro really put his foot in it when he said that the reason why this really couldn't happen is because Diddy and JayZ aren't friends.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case.
Okay, if they want to act like they're not friends, then they're not friends, okay? We'll call them co-workers with benefits. Anyhow, I'm gonna give Alex Spiro this because there are a lot of people who play semantics when it comes to friendship. For example, I'm one of those people. There are a lot of people who think they're my friend and I'm like, no sir, you're my coworker, or no ma'am, you're my associate. So, I guess it could be possible to argue that JayZ and Diddy weren't friends, however, they were simply musicians who run in the same circles. But if that was the case and they really weren't friends, then I think that somebody shoulda, coulda, and woulda told Kim Porter, because for some odd reason, Kim Porter seemed to believe that these two were so close as far as their friendship was concerned that you could say that they were in a secret society together.
There's so many photos out there, but the one of you and JayZ really stands out to me. What was that moment? Do you remember that time?
Yeah, that was at one of my birthday parties, and I was just telling him I appreciated him coming. He was on tour, and he flew in private after one of his shows just to come to the party, and he had to fly back out. I was just telling him how much I appreciate it, you know, how much I value our friendship. People see us as competitors and different icons in the hip-hop game, but that was a moment of just two black brothers telling each other how much they appreciate each other.
And we call that picture a secret society. All we ask is trust.
Exactly. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, all Tony Busby has to do is walk into the court and show that video to the judge, and that argument is a wrap. Anyhow, I have done some digging, and I think that I figured out exactly why. Alex Spiro wants to put mad distance between Diddy and JayZ, and he also wants to keep doubling down on this necessary fiction that Diddy and JayZ weren't friends. And guess what? It's much bigger than the fact that Tony Busby has dropped a few civil lawsuits on JayZ. What Alex Spiro is actually over there doing is getting all of his ducks in a row just in case the Southern District of New York decides to roll JayZ into Diddy's RICO. Watch what Alex Spiro had to say when he did this interview about 2 years ago, and he was talking about hip-hop artists, RICO cases, and relationships. Watch this.
Because judges are biased just like people are biased. Because judges are people just like people are people. And number two is that the blunt force of the conspiracy law basically says if these two people are associated with each other, if they're associated with anybody that's in the gang, if they're associated with another guy that's associated with another guy, they could be part of the same conspiracy. And so what the prosecutor can just say is, listen, this rap music, this rap video, it shows that they all know each other. It shows that they're all hanging out together. It shows that they're talking about the same kinds of things. It's completely misplaced and illogical if you strip away at it. But at first blush, it has appeal. It's like, okay, this does. It shows they know each other. It shows that they're talking about similar subject matters. And judges are mistakenly, in my judgment, letting it into evidence, or at least being swayed by it. It's even tainting the judiciary. It taints people at bail hearings. It taints people at sentencing.
See, when JayZ's attorney is over there like, listen, JayZ didn't know Diddy, it's not because he's concerned about this civil case, because if things go left and things start to go from bad to worse, the worst thing that can happen is JayZ meets with this chick behind closed doors and hits her off with a few million. However, JayZ's attorney is concerned about the New York conspiracy laws, because if the Southern District of New York looks at JayZ and Diddy and they're like, wait a minute, you two are thick as thieves, and realize that there's a possibility that you two could have been doing the same things and discussing things behind closed doors, JayZ could end up in that RICO case. Because you gotta remember, the Southern District of New York has not named Diddy's co-conspirators yet. And at the end of the day, you gotta wonder why the state of New York bought Rockefeller Records. I mean, really think about it. What does the state of New York need with a defunct record company that's not putting out any records? Could it be their financial records? Check out what Dame Dash had to say about the fact that New York State bought his share of Rockefeller Records.
I remember when I was selling Reasonable Doubt, the state were the ones that brought up something looks funky over here. And they went to the judge, and the judge said, this is going to auction. Let the person that buys this deal with that. And then the state bought it. And I've never seen anything like that. They did it with credits. No, they didn't get no money for it. They took the L to get that, so that I think maybe, and I'm just a thinking man, so now they have the right to go into all the books. I'm just looking at the timing of it all. You know, I'm just curious, because if y'all look at my other interviews, I was like, yo, I don't understand it. I never seen nothing like this.
Listen, unless Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul are dropping a hip-hop album, It's kind of strange that New York State bought Rockefeller Records, don't you think? Come on, let me know in the comment section below. Do you find it quite strange that New York State bought Rockefeller Records? Listen, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this. Perhaps Alex Spiro should stop trying to win this case in the court of public opinion via the media and focus on presenting his case in the court. Because when you show the opposition the hand that you're holding, they can easily call you bluff or come up with counter arguments to refute your arguments in court. And if he's not careful, his high-profile billionaire client, Mr. Carter, could not only end up losing his civil case, but also end up cuffed up right next to Diddy, singing "It's a Hard Knock Life" from a jail cell.
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Steady treated, we get tricked. Steady kisses, we get kicked. It's the hard knock life.
And I know, somebody's gonna come in the comment section like, "Source, you foul for this. How come you're pointing out all of the weaknesses in Alex Spiro's case, but you're not looking at the strengths of JayZ's case?" You know why? Because that's not what we're doing today. Today, this is what we're doing, and you can't do everything at once. So we'll look at the strengths of JayZ's case another day. I mean, come on, it's a 20-minute YouTube video. You can't get it all. As a matter of fact, I think you need a moment to cool down. Diddy, can you please give him the cool down?
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Woo! Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
Listen, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Peace.